What's going on, guys? Losing my voice a little bit today. I think it's allergies. So, waiting for a few of y'all to log in here. See if we get some people. We'll give it a minute or two. But I'm up here in Michigan. If you guys get in here and you hear this, let me know how the volume sounds. Just up here at a hotel up in Michigan, kind of seeing if any of you guys are on tonight. But yeah, long story short, I got up here. I was rushed today trying to get up here to Michigan so I could get loaded today, but my load, or the place that we load at the marshalling yard, they only load until 4, or at least that's what the paperwork said, so I didn't even bother trying to get in there. I ended up getting into the hotel early tonight. What's going on, Charlie? So, yeah, just figured I'd jump on here, hang out with you guys for a little bit. It's early. I can't even get in there until tomorrow, until 8. So, I'm going to get plenty of sleep tonight, I guess. But, what's going on, William? So, yeah, that's kind of where we sit right now. Just figured I'd hang out with you guys. This is a pretty decent hotel. It's my first time staying up at this one. They, up in Michigan here. It's our Drury Hotel, and they served dinner. I was pretty surprised. I enjoyed that. They had like a chicken Alfredo tonight. So, it was good. But, yeah, just figured I'd see what's going on with you guys tonight, and hopefully no phone calls kick me off like it did the other night. But this load that we're loading up, Charlie, I'm loading at the marshalling yard here in Detroit. I'm in Troy right now. It's Lake Orion or something like that is where I'm going. I'm like 15 miles from it right now. So I'll leave here at like 7:30 in the morning. Got to run over there, load up some Chryslers going down to Atlanta. That'll be a good load, pays well, and yeah, that's the goal for tomorrow. Like I said, I hustled trying to get up here today, and I was before I hit traffic. I was gonna get in there at like 4:10. So there was no way I was going to be able to load. It says loading until 4. So I'm guessing they don't want you in there at like 6 o'clock at night trying to finish loading before you get out. So I didn't even bother trying. I ended up cutting it off tonight like 2.5 hours early, which it is what it is. But I got my son's 10th birthday party this weekend. So wife's preparing for that. I got to get home hopefully on Friday. I'm going to get this on tomorrow. Get down probably, I don't know if I can get into Atlanta tomorrow, if I'll have enough time, or if I will end up running out just before Atlanta. If I can get in there, then I'll get dropped. Because then Friday morning, if I can't get in there, I will drop Friday morning in Atlanta. Run over to West Point, load a load, come back up towards Ohio or over to West Virginia, and take that home for the weekend. Be home Friday afternoon. That is the goal. So how does this sound to everybody? If you guys can hear me, also hit that like button if you haven't already, please and thank you. Okay, so Charlie, where were you dropping Hondas at up here in Michigan? And where are you going from here? Obviously, you know where I'm going. I delivered today in Dayton, or was it Dayton, Ohio, drop 2. Sorry, my allergies are killing me right now, if you can hear it in my voice. But Dayton, Ohio, drop 2. Then went to Lima, Ohio, dropped 2, and then dropped 5 in Findlay, Ohio. What's that, like 2 hours from here? So not a bad run. Pays well, still under overflow rates right now with Globus products. I don't know if it's all the yards or if it's just the one that West Point and Montgomery. But either way, if you guys want those loads, go grab a couple. We got plenty to get rid of. When I was down there, I think there was like 2,300 cars on the board. So plenty of work coming out of Kia. I don't know about Montgomery because I wasn't over there, but Kia, we have plenty. William, you've been in the shop since noon Monday with no AC. So I gotta ask you, did you have the same problem I did where the AC compressor went out, and what's taking them so long to get it fixed? Is it can't get parts, or what's the issue on that? They ended up having to overnight me a compressor, so they got me rolling, but I sat for a day. Bloomfield Hills and Britain. I wish I knew where any of that was up here in Michigan. Where are you loading at once you leave here, Charlie? What are you guys grabbing work up here, or do you have to run out into like Toledo or wherever else you guys are picking up from? Greensburg, Indiana, drop in Atlanta. Oh, okay. So, how far of a deadhead is that for you? A couple hundred miles, 200-300 tops. I'm guessing. I don't do Indiana often, so I don't do Michigan often either. So unless I've been up here around Detroit, I haven't been anywhere else in Michigan. So I don't know these areas all that well. Obviously, I didn't even know about this hotel. I had to call around and figure out who took CLC up here. But this is a nice place. I'm happy with it. And dropping in Atlanta, what are you picking up over there in Greensburg? And where is everybody else tonight? Are you guys, what part of the country is everybody sitting in? So, I don't know. I guess, what else we got going on? We got, I guess, what kind of news is happening right now in the car hauling industry? I know fuel rates are absolutely absurd. I don't know how a lot of you guys that are owner operators are handling it right now. I guess with overflow, if there's a lot of overflow everywhere, I guess those rates are helping. But shoot, that my fuel, I went from filling up just company truck. I went from filling up like bone dry empty, barely getting over $500. Now I'm putting over $500 in for like 80 gallons of fuel instead of the 110, 120. So yeah, it's insane out there. It's kind of scary what's going on, especially with fuel prices going up. I mean, everything's just going to spiral. It's going to keep going up and up and up. Yeah, fuel prices go up, cost more to get products places, so people are going to raise their rates. And then because rates are more expensive, you're going to increase the cost of getting fuel to the station, so they're going to raise their rates, and it's just going to keep kind of teeter-tottering its way up there. So hopefully we can get an end to this at some point, but shooey, I'm glad I'm not out there buying the fuel myself anymore. About 250-ish. Okay, so yeah, that's not too far. Not overly far for car hauling, anyways, to run 250 miles to go get your next load. William, they had to order the last low side metal line in Ohio, so we even hooked their machine up, then ordered a compressor. They put it on a bit ago, but didn't put new seals in the line, so now leaks. Oh goodness gracious, that sounds like something a shop would do. Just not do the full job, just part of it, and now there's more issues. Yeah, I could see that. I hope they also did. If you had your lines disconnected, I hope they also put a new dryer in there, because if they didn't, your those compressors don't last very long once they get humidity in the lines and start wearing that crap out. So, Car Haul Charlie, pick up Honda CRVs and Civics. You pick those up in Indiana? Because they have them out of Marysville too. Why? I guess, what are they training them? 150 miles from Marysville, so you have to load them over there too. I like I said, I don't run over there, so I don't know the whole routine for that. I would just assume they'd stay right there at the plant. Oh no, so Civics aren't built there. No, I apologize. CRVs are, but the Civics are built someplace else, and I don't know where that is. That's and I know I've loaded some Civics out of Marysville, but they're trucked in from somewhere. They're always sitting in our yard, and then I pick them up and take them with me while I go. So that's news to me. Other news: Marty in Marysville is officially back. He's the one with the broken. Yeah, actually, I saw Marty last week Friday for the first time. I was glad to see him back. He's been gone a long while. He was telling me they had to put him under, re-break his leg, and put new pins in it, and all kinds of crap. I feel for that man. That however he broke his leg. I know it was a slip and fall in the winter, but however the break itself was, man, that sounds like that was a painful ordeal. Because you got to figure I've never broken a leg, but I mean I've broken bones. But I mean and it's sore for a while. But I can't imagine like a leg itself breaking bad enough. One that it heals wrong, and I don't know if they had to put pins in it originally, but and if they did, man, that the soreness that would come from that, and you deal with that for 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks, and then all of a sudden it didn't heal right, so they got to pull the pins out, re-break it, re-put those pins back in. I mean, he's been out now. It has to be real close to almost 8 to 10 months at this point, and really, up until the last couple of weeks, I haven't been to Marysville in forever, so I don't exactly know when he broke his leg, but golly, that is that's one I don't want to have to deal with. I don't want to know what that one feels like. The plant is there. I think they are making Civics there now. Okay, so maybe they are. Oh, and you're talking in Greensburg. Where was that? Indiana. Greensburg, Indiana. Obviously, I don't run over to Indiana. I don't even know if we have work out of Greensburg. We very well might. I just out of my little forte of areas that I like to run. But yeah, that. I mean, as long as you're staying busy right now, I think the car market in general for car haulers is much better than the general freight market right now. We seem to have a lot of work, or at least where I'm at, I'm staying very, very busy. I hope you guys are as well. But I'm gonna run out of my Sprite here shortly. Then I gotta start drinking water. Sprite tastes better. But yeah, we've I don't know how the work up there in like Virginia, Baltimore area is, but I know my buddy that got me on here with United Road, he's been staying pretty busy up that way. I think he was saying they ran out of Mazdas up there, so he was running. They're running him up into New Jersey for something, and then now he's on a killer load. I think he's taken a load. I forget where it picked up. Somewhere up in Boston, at some park. Could be baseball field, golf, something like that up there. He took a load. He's going down to Galveston, Texas, and I don't know what he has on. I mean, I could have asked, but I don't know what type of vehicles he has on. But I know that's paying like a little over 10 grand, I think, for him to run down there, maybe right at 10 grand. But he had to load it on Sunday night. Oh no, I remember what it was. I think he said it was an auto show. It had to load. Nope, sorry, it wasn't an auto show. I do exactly know what it is now. Now that I jog my memory, they're BMWs out of there's some like racetrack experience thing. That's what he loaded them. They're loading like 6 or 7 BMWs on each truck, and then they're running down to Galveston, Texas, and dropping down that way. So he's all excited. We're working on trying to get him to get a load coming over out towards West Point if he can, because then he's gonna make 10 grand on the run down to Texas. Let's say 1,800 at the low end to like 2,400 across to West Point. Then he can grab, let's say he goes back up to Virginia, because that's where the work is that can get him back to his house up in New York. Gets a load back up there. It's going to pay, let's say, $2,400 up to the DC area. And then on top of that, you got the $175 overflow rate on top of that. And that's, so that comes to, I think it was like $1,550, $1,575 for a 9-car load. So that's $3,900 plus $1,800. So there's 49.57 plus, yeah, so he's made like $16,000 in a 1 week run. I told him, I said, man, I don't know who loves you for that stuff, but golly, he's gonna make a killer paycheck with that. I'm happy for him. Let's see, I missed a bunch of comments here. Charlie now going to preload some Mercedes for the Northeast. Where are you loading those at? Is that are you going right down to Vance, Alabama with those? Run down to Atlanta, cross to Vance, and then head back up? Because Charlie, if I remember correctly, you live somewhere in the Northeast, like Virginia or Pennsylvania, New Hampshire, something in that aspect. I could be wrong, but if you do, let me know. I just don't remember 100%. Nate McCain, how you doing, brother? Probably answered this already. New company driver would make about what a week. So Nate, I need to know. Do you have experience in car hauling, or is this like you're just starting out? Because that does make a huge difference. Let me know, and I will answer that. I'll try to give you kind of the range of what I would expect. Yeah, URS is in there. Okay, so we're in Greensburg as well. William, I actually live in Greensburg. They make hatchback Civics, CRVs, and Insights. They had over 600 units as of the other day. That's a good amount of units. So, question, do they make the CRVs in Greensburg and in Marysville, or do they train them from Greensburg over to Marysville to that other yard? Was it Gate P or something like that over there in Marysville? I'm just wondering, because I mean, if my thought is couldn't you make enough Accords if that's all they're building at Marysville? The Accords and whatever the Acura version is that they make over there, if they make those in Marysville, I guess I mean I would assume you'd make enough Accords, a big time selling vehicle. So I would just assume there'd be enough that you wouldn't have to train more cars into that yard. But I mean, I don't make that kind of money to make those decisions. So Charlie, I did those BMW loads out of Texas. Oh, so you picked up BMWs in Texas? Did you take them up to Boston? Is that what they were, or? Well, actually, BMW comes into Galveston, doesn't it? Into the Port of Houston down there, if I'm not mistaken. Could be. I'm just trying to think, because we haul something Volkswagen, I think, and Audi out of that port. Do they get BMWs into that port as well? I wish I knew, and I don't do very many BMW loads, and all the ones that I do always come out of Greer, out of the SUV plant. So I don't ever haul the small cars. It'd be fun too. I know we get, or we don't, but they get BMWs and Mini Coopers into the Port of Brunswick. I've seen those loaded out of there. Let's see. Iceberg cut the beard. You just kidding? What's up? What's going on, Iceberg? Yeah, no, there's no way I could cut the beard. My wife has already threatened me with divorce if I ever cut it off. I keep it right here at this length. It'll get a little bit longer and scragglier, and then I'll just trim it up a little bit. But I've had that way too long at this point for me to go chopping the beard. Hey, guys, anybody that hasn't already done so, please hit the like button on this. It helps these videos get out to more people, helps the channel to grow. I greatly appreciate that. And if you're new to the channel, say hi, and I will respond to you. If you have any questions, same thing. Ask away. I'll do my best for you. Nate, no experience. Okay. So no experience is going to be kind of tough. And I'm only going to talk once you get out of training, because I don't exactly know how their training pay works, and like when you're tailing another driver or when you're riding with another driver and all that. I don't know how that pay works. I never had to deal with that because I came here with experience. So I was pretty much just given a truck after my week-long welcome to the company class. But once you get on your own, it's really going to depend on where you are per se. Try to do loads to where you can get towards another terminal that can get you back, if you can. If you're in an area that's impossible, then it is what it is. But your best way to make money right now is going to be cutting deadhead. And I would say if you have zero experience, so you're in that time frame of like 6 to 8 hours to load, 2 to 4 hours to unload kind of area. And there's nothing wrong with being there, because you have to learn. You have to get that experience in before you can be fast. Because if you try to just be quick right in the beginning, you're going to damage something, and they're going to end up getting fired, or you're going to lose your bonuses and that sort of thing. So just take your time, understand that this is a career path, not just a job you can just jump into and day one you're making a killing. You will make a killing doing this. It's just not in day one. You got to kind of look at it like a career. This is something you have to learn, and it's going to take a decent amount of time for you to get good at it. So I'd expect in the beginning, like 1,000 to like 1,300 weekly paychecks. So that's what, like 2,000 to 2,600. I would say that's kind of what I would expect being a brand new driver with zero experience. 6 months down the road, you're probably going to be starting to get into that like $1,400 to $1,600 range. You're going to start developing a route to run, where you are now going to learn the runs to where you can get someplace, get delivered, and get back. But that first 6 months is going to be all about repetition. and you want to be loading and unloading every single day, 5, 6 days a week. And the reason I say that is in 6, 8 months down the road, it's really going to make you a much, much, much better car hauler, which is going to quickly get you up into that $1,600 to $2,400 range of weekly paychecks. But if you don't do the hard work in the beginning, you're going to be a year and a half, 2 years in, and you're going to kind of be what I did. I didn't have anybody training me when I first started. And I would say it took me 6 years to be a good car hauler. And I'm no expert at this point in time in my career, and I've been doing this 13 years. I still learn things. But if you put the hard work in the beginning and you make those what I would consider a crummy car hauling paycheck in the very beginning, once you're doing those other runs to where you're not getting the new car loads, you're taking a load of new cars out someplace, then you're getting an auction load that might have 2 pickup trucks, 4 or 5 SUVs, and a car or 2, and they're all different makes and models. You're just going to be able to you're going to look at that whole thing and go, okay, the Ford Fusion is the same as a Kia Sorento, which is the same thing as a Honda Acura, which is the same thing as a Mercedes. It used to be like the C-Class and stuff like that, but now they're like CLSs and all these weird letters now. I don't do enough Mercedes to remember them, but you're gonna be able to look at each type of car and understand that they're all the same, almost the same body size, almost the same body styles, almost the same weights, and you can group a 2500 Chevy to a 2500 Dodge to an F-250. They're all the same vehicle. So you're going to be able to look at them after you've put in that effort in the very beginning. You're going to be able to look at them and be able to put your load together on the trailer without having to drop units or load it and then get everything down and realize you're 14.4 and have to unload and do it all over again. So put the time in the beginning, because in 6 months to a year later, that's when you're going to be making the really good paychecks that car hauling does provide if once you get the experience. It's just, this isn't like van work where you just bump a dock or hauling a tanker to where I'm going to only say like a gasoline tanker, where you go and you load up and you get to fuel stations, gas stations, and just drop it into the ground. It's not something like that you can just pick up in a couple weeks worth of training. You're gonna have to put some time in, and trust me, it'll be worth it. Keep your head down and chug through it. You'll make it. Wow, I missed some comments. You're from Connecticut, but live in Georgia. Oh, okay. So Charlie, maybe you told me before that you lived up in Connecticut, and you probably told me that you lived in Georgia. I just for some reason pictured you were up there. Sorry about that, man. Iceberg decided to go flatbed, but car hauling is interesting. Man, car hauling is where it's at. What can I say? I mean, once you're a car hauler, you're always a car hauler. There's nothing you can do. But no, seriously, do what you want. In the trucking industry, there's plenty of different avenues you can run. I will say, the saying is, once a car hauler, always a car hauler. Man, if it's in your blood, it's in your blood. It's what you got to do. I can't personally picture myself doing anything else unless it paid amazingly compared to car hauling, because I think after 6 months to a year, I'd miss it. Man, putting those cars over your head rack, or throwing 10 on the trailer, stacking the head rack, or if you have a high rail, stacking the belly of your trailer, all that stuff. Man, I love it. I love car hauling, and I've been blessed to be able to that this is the only thing I've ever done. All right. William, the CRVs from Greensburg go straight to the dealer We only shuttle Civics to Marysville that go to PA and Canada. Okay, okay. So they do make they do make the CRVs in Greensburg, and they must run them on train over to Marysville to that gate P or whatever it is over there. All right. Sorry, it just kicked me. First class towing, what's going on, man? Gregory, whoop, I'm hitting buttons. Just got rid of, there it is. Okay. Gregory, what kind of truck parking? I'm in Michigan, head to New York. Yeah, I'm over here at the Drury Inn in Troy, big parking lot. Don't go out front. I pulled in out front, but if you keep going straight into the parking lot here, they got the actual drive lane in. It looks like it's a road, but it actually goes right underneath their 13-foot overhang at the front of the building, and it's a very, very, very tight turn. So what I did is I pulled in and then just hung a right in front of a little restaurant, swung around out back, tons of parking back there. Gary McCoy, hey brother, this is the guy you talked to in Kingsburg. Oh, hey man, what's going on? Hope the construction work's doing well for you over there, and I hope you get on with that company out in Charlotte, and I hope it works well for you. If it doesn't, like I said, let me know, and we'll see about getting you over here. Yes, BMW's coming Texas, and that load went to upstate New York to a racetrack. Oh, okay. So you took them from Texas up to New York, and then they must have shipped them from New York over to Boston, because I know he picked them up in up there in Boston, Massachusetts. So they must have taken them over to another racetrack out that direction, or just drove them over there, whatever their choice was. But I know that's where he got those picked up. Excuse me. William, I'm a driver trainer. Training pay is guaranteed minimum pay as long as you get at least 50 hours a week. I want to say it's like 1K plus, I think, $150 a day as a trainee pay. Your terminal manager will know for sure. I've only trained one person so far. Okay, so William, how was your experience with training? Like, was it a recent training, or did you just do one a long time ago and decided not to go back? It wasn't worth it. Just curious how that all worked out for you. Like I said in my last one, that I wouldn't have a problem training. It's just very difficult for me based on where I live and based on where our loads are, unless someone decided to follow me to my house every weekend and stay in a hotel down the road. It wouldn't pan out for me, because there's no way I'm staying for multiple weeks down at West Point, not for under like $4 or $5 grand a week, and obviously that would never get paid for something like that. But yeah, I like me and my wife joke around. I'm willing to move anywhere. I'm willing to do anything, but in order for me to do stuff like that, to me, what I have is awesome, and for me to change what I have, it has to be like life-changing money. So like, for me to uproot my family, it can't be something where like you're gonna go from 120,000 to 135,000. 15 grand is not life-changing money to me. To uproot my family wise, I'd rather just stay right where I'm at, make what I'm doing, and keep going. Yeah, you offer me 180, 190,000 for something. Yeah, I'd me and my wife have talked about it. We would take the move, depending on where it's going to. But like I said, the training, it has to be life-changing money in order for me to turn around and stay down there for weeks at a time. Richard Camry. Okay, I must have missed something. If I did, I'm sorry, man. Yeah, I met you at West Point. I remember that, Charlie. And Yeah, I totally forgot that you lived in Georgia. Gary McCoy, will do. Connor, what's up? Matt, happy to see you live again. Good to see you too, man. Are you at home now? I remember you said you were heading home or getting home. Hope you got some home time because I know that GM work it's tough. My dad is finally on his way back tomorrow morning. They got him running up to Flint to grab another load, which is going down to Tarpon Springs, Florida, that area. Obviously, the loads change day by day, but Doug said he was pretty sure he could get something heading down that direction. So that's where my dad is planning on going, which would be awesome because it gets him back by the house. He'll do his 34 at home, hit the road, head on down to Florida, and pretty much be almost out of time by the time he gets back up again. So he's excited about getting back this way. He said California's cool, but that's just not for him. Carrie Smith, what is United Roads trucks governed to? Okay, so our trucks are governed to 65 miles an hour. But after, I don't know the time frame, but if you're hitting a decent fuel mileage and you don't have hard brakings and sharp turns and the unsafe stuff, they will knock, excuse me, they can knock your truck up to 68 miles an hour. So it's not perfect, but it's better than nothing, in my opinion. Gary, I will hit you up on email in the next day or two. Okay, man. William, it was a good experience for me. He needed 20 days training with me. He was able to stay out 2 weeks at a time. Went smooth. He has been on his own for 2 weeks. My manager says he's really impressed. Okay, man, that's good. I'm really glad to hear when we get a trainee in and they're succeeding. Because I obviously, I mean, it's everywhere. You get some in and they just, it's not a fit, or the problem that I see a lot of trainees have that I talk to that complain is they're expecting to be making our kind of rates for people that have many years of experience. They're expecting to make those kind of paychecks in like 3, 4, 5 weeks, and when they're 2 months in, excuse me, when they're 2 months in and they're only making their $1,400 to $1,600 a week paychecks, I know a lot of them get burnt out and jump ship pretty quick, and I hate to hear that because it like I try to tell everybody, it takes time. It's not something that just you can just jump right into and you're making a fortune day one. Like I keep saying, the money's there. You gotta put the time in, and a lot of people just don't have the patience for that. Connor was at home for about a week, leaving out tomorrow, moving out of Greer, heading to Michigan. Okay, so Connor, where are they running you to out of Michigan? Does he know yet? Do you have a preference, or is it just kind of wherever the freight's going is where you're off to? Like I said, I really want to do that run down to Key West. I'd love to. I don't know if there's other Chevy dealerships on the Keys on the way down, but that one down there in Key West, that was right across the street from the hotel that I stayed at. Literally, when you come in off that little bridge where the stoplight is, if you turn right into, and I forget the name of the hotel, it's a beautiful resort right there on the right hand side. Turn right there. That's where me and my wife honeymooned. It was gorgeous. The only thing that I really wanted to see but didn't get to is I was fly fishing one night off the little pier that they have down there at that resort, and security came walking out me and my wife thought that they were going to be mad about me fly fishing because I mean, sometimes fishing at a resort they get kind of iffy about. But the guy was really cool. But they said he said be careful at night because they had like a 14-foot saltwater crocodile up on their beach, like a week and a half before me and my wife went down there for our honeymoon. Man, I wanted to see that thing so bad. Not like up close and personal, but I thought that would have been so cool. Um, did get to catch a few things when I was down there. Hooked up to a tarpon. First time doing that. First time I ever caught. I didn't technically catch a tarpon. I hooked up to it. It was on for all of about 40 seconds, but that was the biggest fish I've ever hooked up to in my life. I was throwing like a 4.5 inch what was it, a shrimp fly that I had tied, and I hooked up to that thing, and like I told my wife, I was like hooking up to the back of a dump truck running 65 on the interstate. That thing yanked the pole out of my hand. I was using I want to say it was a 9 weight. I'm pretty sure it was a 9 weight rod. I didn't have a 10 weight, or was it an 8 weight? No, it was an 8 weight rod, because I was hoping 8 weight I think goes to like up to like 250 pound fish, give or take, and yeah, hooked up to that thing, and all I remember is there was a head that came out of the water. The head of the mouth on it had to have been 12 inches, and it kicked side to side, and then I just watched my fly go take off in the air, and I reeled it. I told my wife, I said, well, I'm good. That's all I wanted to do down in Key West was be able to say that I hooked up to a tarpon, and I officially did that, and that was fun. One of these days I'll get back down there and get to go on a charter tarpon fishing trip. That would be amazing. I want to do it on a fly rod. Love fly fishing. I don't know if any of you guys do too, but I love fly fishing. When we go to the beaches and stuff, I don't get to fly fish because with 4 little ones, getting to just stand in the water by yourself for long periods of time, not something the wife is okay with when you got 4 little ones running around and she wants to sit on the beach and have a drink herself. So I just bring some beach spikes and a couple beach poles. Actually, they're not even beach poles; they're catfish poles. I don't live where we do beach fishing, and I get made fun of down there because I'm throwing an ugly stick, cheap catfish rod. But hey, I've caught a ton of fish on them, and I catch just as well as the guy sitting next to me with his 12-foot, $500 beach rod. But that's a different tangent for another day. William. One new hire found out he had to load in the snow and backed out. Yeah, I've seen it down at West Point. Some of the new hire guys, man, they get on and that first day where it is just dumping buckets of rain on you. It's just one of those days where like you go to get out of the truck and you're like, I could wear my rain suit, but I'm gonna be soaked by the time I'm done and sweaty. Or I could skip the rain suit, be soaked, and not be sweaty. So sometimes you just have to suck it up and deal with it. There's multiple days where I'll dump 2 inches of water out of my waterproof boots because it's running down your legs so hard that it's just pooling inside your boots, and what are you gonna do about it? You're not making money if you're not running. So just dump the boots out when you get back in the truck and move on. That's part of car hauling. It ain't always what does my wife always say? Unicorns and rainbows out here for us. Connor, don't have a load yet, but I'll probably go west if they have it. Preferably not California or Washington, but Washington or Oregon. And yes, Niles Chevy is right off the bridge. Make sure to do my 34 on the island. How in the world do you get away with doing your 34 on the island? One, where the heck do you park your truck at? And two, how in the world do you get them? Like, I've been down there. What hotel on Key West accepts CLC? Because now I'm curious. I'm gonna have to do that because I was thinking like, man, I'm gonna have to, no matter what, like park in Miami and stay there for the night so I can wake up my new 14 for the next day so I can run down, get delivered, get back out of there. I did not expect there'd be any place down there that took CLC for you to do your 34. That would be fun. And if I did that, I would definitely have to bring some rods with me and not tell the wife because she would be pissed. She doesn't like when I run Florida anyways because that's her favorite place to go, and she's always jealous that I get to go down there, especially when it's like 35 to 45 in Tennessee and I'm rolling down to Bradenton, Florida, where it's going to be like 75, 78. Yeah, my wife's not usually thrilled when I'm running down there, but it is what it is. I got to go where the work is, and this year, well, the last year I didn't run Florida at all. This past year, it seems like all the great work is running to Florida. Excuse me. Yeah, it seems like every time I turn around, the next great load is running like Ohio, Pennsylvania, or Michigan, down to Orlando, down to Tampa, down to Bradenton. Actually, usually Tampa or Orlando is what I've been doing, and then I can load either out of Orlando or Bradenton, the Manheim down there. Loaded out of there a bunch of times, running back up for like Carvana, CarMax, stuff like that. I don't know. It just seems like there's a ton of work this year going down that direction, and yeah, that is definitely. I don't know. I love running Florida. Florida's one of those states for me that everybody hates, and I just enjoy it. Pensacola, all the way down to Naples, all the way across Alligator Alley to Miami, and any of that. I enjoy Florida. It's like I said, it's one of those places. So yeah, if you don't mind going to Washington or Oregon, but yeah, my dad did that California run and got himself stuck out there for 2 weeks. Not wasn't thrilled about it in the beginning. I think he enjoyed it much more now. I talked to him earlier today. He seems to be enjoying himself. He misses home, obviously. His yard's like 14 inches long, so when he gets home, he can hay it instead of mow it. But hey, I mean, we got animals, so they can feed them to the goats. Go fish and just say at your hotel. Yeah, man. I don't know. It's been a little while. I used to go fishing all the time at the Skyway Pier. I used to do that every week. Man, that's one of the things I missed about my own truck when I ran snowbirds. Because for years, like 6 to 8 years, I ran snowbirds down to Florida. And you'd be running them down out of New York for like 4 months. You'd get like 2 months off, then you'd be running them back north for 4 months. And I mean, really, you covered 10 months out of the year with snowbirds. And every single week, I'd run down. I'd stay right down there at that truck and that rest area, right there at Skyway Pier, and I'd walk my happy behind down to the end, and go catch some king mackerel, some bonita, Spanish mackerel. I think I hooked up to some sort of a grouper at some point. I didn't have any kind of line on that could handle it, but I got a snag. One of the few times I used to use a bait caster, and I went to cast out, and it spider webbed or bird's nested in the bait caster, so I didn't realize I had the lure hanging like maybe 2 foot into the water, and just trying to take that bird's nest out and get it out of the rod, and all of a sudden my pole just bent over, and I sat there and leaned against that pole as hard as I could, and it made it all in about 12 seconds and snapped my line. So whatever it was a big fish. Talking to the guy in the bait shop, he said I probably had some sort of a grouper swim up, grab it, and take off straight down. So I told him it didn't run side to side. It just went to the bottom. And yeah, there's nothing I can do about that. It took it all. It took my lure. All right, yeah. DM me. Let me know. Let me know where you stayed, guys. Again, hit the like button if you haven't already. If you have any questions for me, ask it. I don't know how long I will be, how much longer I'll be staying on here. We're almost at an hour already, and I don't know if y'all heard that, but it just sounded like someone was trying to come in my door. But yeah, I don't know how long I'll stay on here tonight. What time is it? Oh, it's only 7:45. It's still early. So, yeah, ask away. Like I said, hit that like button for me, guys. Helps me to get these things out to everybody. Also, before I keep going on questions, I got big news, and I'm going to do a video on this as well. I did get approved for the join portion of YouTube. I'm working on getting that all set up, and I think I have it set up for as low as it would go, which was like $4 or $5 a month total. You'll see that pop up, and I'm just going to put long form training videos for the members only section on that. I did get approved for that on YouTube. I thought it needed 30,000 subscribers. They sent me the letter that I was good to go with that. So I'm fingers crossed we'll have that up and rolling here in about a week. That is the goal. So I'm gonna literally take every bit of that money that comes in and just buy better things for the vlog to make these things better for you. Get you guys some different angles, better cameras, that sort of stuff. Is United Road percentage or hourly? United Road is percentage. I don't know of any car hauling company that pays hourly, except for like right now, if you are on the GM dedicated work, that is hourly. I don't know exactly how that works. I think it averages out to $40 an hour, which is pretty good. I average like $2,800 a week. So, but that is really about the only hourly thing you can get to, personally. In car hauling, I think, well, no, I can't say that, because I think CarMax and Carvana are both hourly, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know what they pay hourly, but yeah, they're not percentage because it's their own work. And I guess like if you haul for one of these dealership owned trucking companies like Reinhardt, or there's that big one up there in New Jersey, and I can't think of the name of it. Big NASCAR driver name. They own a bunch of trucks. I bet you they pay hourly as well, because it's all their own work. So how are they going to do a percentage? You'd have to negotiate what you would haul it for them. So yeah, I think there's a couple companies out here that pay hourly. Like I said, I don't know what they are, or what they pay, but yeah, Carvana and CarMax I know are both hourly. But again, you're hauling their own work, so that is something up to them, or up to you to do. Thor, I just transferred the truck my dad drives to West Point. Keep him out of trouble for me. All right, man. Shoot me DM of what his truck looks like, and if I see him down there, I'll say hi to him for you. I'll do my best to keep him out of trouble, but if he's like me, he's in it all the time. Does URS still have enclosed with Pilot? Yes. Yes, they do. I don't know much about them. I know, and I don't know if he wants his name given out on here or not, but one of our guys that is in marketing, I talk to him all the time. He's going out. They Pilot Transport sponsors Thunder something. It's a car show, and I think he's going out there like in the next couple weeks to do some photos and that sort of stuff out that way. I forget the name of the event that they sponsor, but yep, they definitely. We still have Pilot here with United. They run all the enclosed stuff. Carvana's paying hourly also. Yep. Boy, oh boy, that name from Brazil. There is not a chance I am going to pronounce that correctly, so I'm not even going to attempt it. But hello, sir. Zach, can I make money with an 8-car hauler? Absolutely, you can. I ran. My dad ran a 7-car hauler for years. Got him into an 8-car hauler. And now he's running a Stinger. But yeah, 8-car hauler all day long. You can make decent money with it. We got some owner operators that I see coming to West Point that run an 8-car Wally Mo. Great trucks. Really, you're going to be, with an 8-car hauler, you're getting better fuel economy because you don't have that car sitting over the head rack. So you're not driving the parachute down the road like a Stinger is. And you would definitely, yeah, you can definitely make money with it. I know you gotta be a little careful some places you run. I don't know what states they are, but a lot of them don't recognize won't recognize you as a car hauler if you don't have a head rack. I don't know how often they give those guys grief, but I know they don't allow you any overhang if you're not a car hauler. And the only one I can think of off the top of my head is like Missouri, I think, is one that does not recognize you as a car hauler if you don't have a head rack. Ohio might be another one. And I don't really know what they do. If it's just they give you a ticket, or they make you unload. Any of you guys that have experience, let me know in the comments below if that is something. I know. I mean, if they just give you a ticket, honestly, unless you're running in one of those states constantly, I wouldn't worry all that much about it. I mean, really, the ticket might be $250, $300, I would assume, and I'd chalk that up to the cost of doing business. If you can run, like, let's say out of West Point, because I know it very well. So, if you run out of West Point to Ohio, you'd probably lose $200 on a load. So I would say at the low end, you're making $1,800 on a load. On the high end, you're going to be making $2,200 on a load to Ohio. So I would say reasonably that run, if you're in a high mount coming out of West Point, you're probably going to be turning the mid sevens for fuel economy. Because you're only going to be like 70,000 pounds. I mean, you're going to be like 10,000 pounds underweight with an 8-car. And honestly, yeah, you probably figure, let's say a run to Ohio, $500 in fuel, West Point up, give or take. So it's, if you go to like Columbus, it's like 600 miles. So yeah, you're probably gonna be like around 500, 550 in fuel. That's leaving you. Let's say it pays $1,800. Just for shits and giggles here, 1,800 minus 500 leaves you 1,300. Uh, so you put 1,300 into the bank. After all that, you're gonna take out of that probably, let's say, $800 for payroll and expenses on that single run. So that leaves you what, $500. So yeah, you make about $500 profit on that single run up to Ohio. That's not bad for an 8-car trailer. You get to go buy a cheaper truck than what car hauler is gonna be. So yeah, I would say you reasonably could. You turn around and do the same thing, load up out of Marysville, coming back south. Let's say you're making another $1,800. Again, you put 500 in the bank. $800 is all the expenses minus fuel, and the other 500 for fuel. So you just did 3,600, spent 1,000 in fuel, 1,600 off of that. So yeah, you're not doing bad with an 8-car hauler. You just got to be smart with it, and try to not get screwed with tickets if you're in one of those states that murder those high mount guys. Missed a bunch. Wow, that got you guys talking. Dang. And we go up and up and up. CSX train man, good evening. Good evening, man. First class towing. Ohio is terrible about those high mount trailers. We had to unload one at a weigh station once. First class, was that because you were overweight, or was that because of overhang? They wouldn't let you run down the road with the overhang. And second question on that, did you do the whole run down to the next truck stop, drop a car, run back up, go load your car back up, run back down to the truck stop, and finish the run? How did that work for you? Where can get those hose unions, the little deals that you use for fixing the hoses? Oh man, I always got those at Fleet Pride. Fleet Pride, Napa, they always had them for me, and if they didn't, they'd order them in. And a lot of times, if you pay for it right there at the counter, they'll order it and just have it mailed right to your house. I've done it multiple times. And also, if you use one, and when you get your hose fixed, take it back off, clean it, and put it back in your box, because those damn things are expensive. I don't want to know what they are now, but I think those things were like 60 to 90 bucks when I was buying them like 4 or 5 years ago. East Coast Truck and Trailers. Okay, so they sell those repair kits as well. You don't run it in Ohio. They are a BS state that will nail you for anything. I don't blame you. Yes, they will. All my violations came from Ohio. Man, y'all don't like Ohio at all. That's the funny thing is I have never once had an issue in Ohio. In 13 years of hauling cars, I have never once had an issue in Ohio. Any issues I ever had came from Virginia, Pennsylvania. Everybody talks about how bad Baltimore was. I've never once run into a Baltimore DOT. And I ran Maryland. I never once ran into Maryland DOT. The closest I ever came, they had an issue at the port one time. I don't remember what it was, but they had it shut down for like 2 hours. And I was already on that road going into the port of Baltimore. I had to deliver a load of cars. And I remember DOT came walking up trucks. I mean, they were just going truck to truck to truck to truck. They made it to like 4 or 5 trucks behind me. Finally, everything started opening back up, and I got moving. I never had to deal with them, but yeah, they were checking permits and logbooks and everything. But that's the only time I've ever uh, might have gotten close to having an issue with DOT. Every time coming out of the tunnel there in Baltimore, never had a problem. None of their scale houses I've ever had a problem with. I know a lot of people have. I got DOT'd in Manheim, Pennsylvania, at the in the parking lot. I was loading up. DOT officer walked up and was like, "Let me see your logbook, registration, blah blah blah." He got me for a frayed airline on the trailer. There's something else, but it was minor. There was a freight airline on the trailer. And we're going back like 8, 9 years ago. There was a freight airline on the trailer. And a crack in a weld on the trailer. So he caught me for those two things, wrote me up. I called a repair company to come in. I think the tickets were like $1,500 when I paid them, but the repair was like $300, so wasn't bad. Da, 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 da. You don't like PA either, yeah. That was one. Over length. Sent to rollback after it. 2450 in Florida. Zach, is that permit? 2450. I'm just wondering what that price is, because I remember there used to be a permit that I used to buy in Florida for my dad's truck. It was like like over length permit or something. You bought it once a year. Because like he ran a high mount. He ran a Kenworth T660 with a Wally-Mo behind it, and did a lot of running with that. We used to do. He did. When I moved to Florida, he was doing the snowbirds for the last like year and a half, 2 years up in New York down to Florida, and then but back then he was running a 377 single axle Peterbilt with a 7-car Wally-Mo, and he ran 7 cars behind that thing for heck. He ran that truck for like I gotta say 7, 8 years, maybe 9 years. He put over 800,000 miles on that truck. Best truck I ever bought. I think I paid $9,800 for it. I mean, it was dirt cheap. Because our whole thought was we needed another truck. We needed a truck. We wanted a single axle. And because at that point we had wedges when we bought it. But our thought was we could have that truck paid off in like 2 or 3 weeks worth of runs. Truck's paid off, so $9,800, big deal. Picked that thing up with like 700 and some thousand miles on it, and had a Cat 3406E in it. That thing ran to just shy of like 1.9 million miles, and he ended up getting antifreeze, started weeping through the cylinders on the truck. Or, the piston cylinder. Started weeping through that. We started getting water in the oil. And I think we ended up selling that truck for like $7,000. We sold that truck to a guy down in Knoxville. Company's name is John Story. And all he does is buy those old trucks like that, rebuilds the motors, puts them up on a shelf, and sells those motors on eBay. I think he paid like $7,000 for that truck. Sorry, I went off on a tangent there. Last time you were talking about GM dedicated and saying paying 40ish an hour. How much do they pay owner operators? Tom, I don't know. But if we just go off of the numbers from what uh, what it pays, like what we make, if we get paid 25%. So $40 an hour is 25%. Then we would be getting, they'd be getting $160 an hour for the truck. And an owner operator here, I'm pretty sure it's 80 or 85%. We're just gonna go 80 for easy numbers. So that's $80 an hour on the 100 plus what's 80% of $60. Another $35. So you're talking like 105, 110 an hour, I would assume. I don't know. I wish I did. If and I don't even know if they do owner operators on the dedicated work or not. They might not. But if they did, that'd be cool. I just I'm trying to think right now if I've even seen anybody other than like the big company names, the Virginias, the Hanson and Adkins, USOL, Pasha, United Road. I don't remember if I've even seen any other companies but those doing it. Again, I could be wrong because I'm not paying a whole lot of attention. I'm sure somebody in the comments will answer that for you, though. Ohio just won't cut you any slack if your stuff is good. You have no worries. I'm in a 2-year-old truck. That's probably why. Breaker 19er, can I get a radio check? Absolutely, man. There's not a lot of people that know that whole Breaker 19er anymore. It seems like there ain't many people that even have a CB anymore. These 18 wheels. Question for you. What is, and anybody else that has it, what is your handle? Not something that people talk about much anymore. They're CB handles. Mine has always been Rain Man. And I think I told the story a long time ago, but long story short, I went like an entire summer. And if my dad went to Pennsylvania, it was sunny. If I was in New York, it was pouring on me. I went to North Carolina and he was in New York. It was sunny in New York. It was pouring on me in North Carolina. And we went, oh man, I had to go almost the entire summer that way. And my dad just laughed because every place I went, it just rained and rained and rained and rained on me. So yeah, I got the handle Rain Man. Alright. Zach W. I'm staying away from Ohio. There are plenty of states to make money in. Absolutely, sir. Zach, like I said, I ran Baltimore and Virginia many years back to Tennessee with high mounts. Never once had an issue. Radio's working driver. Do you like the sleepers or having a day cab better? 18 wheels, these, for me, it's all about the day cab. And not because I like the truck per se better, because the ride is worse. It is not as comfortable because you're sitting on your steering wheel a lot more like this, whereas the sleeper, you don't have anything behind you, so you can extend out a little bit. But I like having the loading space. I like being able to load 10, and I really like having, what's it called? Having the quick loader and being able to load 10. And I guess the biggest thing I like is I don't have to walk across the truck stop to use that in the middle of the night anymore. It is right there. So I like the hotels. I'm not gonna lie, they are very nice at this point. All right, man. I am going to have to skip some of these here very shortly because you guys are like 20 comments ahead of me. Also, it's nice to sleep in your own sleeper knowing you have your own sheets. Yeah, that is true. 10-4, thanks for the radio checks, first class. Yep. Owner operators can't be GM dedicated at URS, company drivers only. Okay, so there you go. Connor answered it for you. You can't be GM dedicated. Sorry about that. Northbound Gator in the right lane, just past the 142 yard stack. Head over on the hammer lane. Just be careful with that zipper, man. Roy, do you know any other car hauler companies that train besides United Road? I would assume almost all the big boys. You got obviously United Road. I'm sure Cassins does. I'm sure Jack Cooper does. Those are both union companies. I'm sure Hanson and Atkins does. I'm sure USAL does. I'm pretty sure Virginia does. I know I'm missing one. More. There you go. I'm pretty sure more trains as well. Any of those companies do. That's up to you to figure out which one's going to be the best fit for you, though. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Shit, I'd be happy with the 160 to the truck. I don't think they do owner operators for the dedicated stuff. Thank you. Car haul Charlie. Charlie Rock was mine. Okay. Yeah, mine, like I said, mine was Rain Man. Driver, you left your blinker on. Get your left foot off the dash. Yeah, get your left foot off the dash. I'm not flexible enough to do that. I'd break a damn hip. Driver blocking pump 6. Driver Gator on the zipper now. First way or reway? What's the incentive situation in West Point, Montgomery as we speak? Honestly, I don't know. I know the incentive for the company last I checked, which was like a month ago, so it could have changed, was $15,000 to a driver that had 5 years of car hauling, recent car hauling experience. Man, I got hiccups. $15,000 for any driver that has recent car hauling, 5 years of recent car hauling experience or more. And I think it was like 5,000 if you came with a couple years of driving experience, if I remember correctly. Don't quote me on these. If you need to, just go on the United Road website and under the careers button, you can click on that. It'll tell you all of that, and you can read on the all the bonus, not bonus, but the sign-on bonus and stuff like that if they're still doing it. And each terminal can do more if they want to get people, and I don't know if West Point has one going on right now or not. That's a 10 on the zipper first class. Appreciate the info. I have a chance to go from my high rail 10724 to, okay, first off, William, your 10724 is 2 numbers away from my first truck. My first truck was 10726. So you're driving the sister truck to my high rail that I had. To a newer 80-footer 11202. That's at a Peterbilt dealership. I actually have mixed feelings about it. I'd have to rewatch some of your loading videos. William, I'm going to tell you, I had mixed feelings about getting this quick loader as well. Is it going to be a sleeper, day cab? Like, are you switching from like that, or are you still going to be like going day cab to day cab? Because I'm sure you're only 2 numbers away. That's got to be a day cab truck. But I do not miss my high rail in the least. Unless you're out there running 11 cars, most of your loads, I wouldn't worry about swapping over to that high rail. Because I'm telling you, if all my cars are pulled, I can have my truck loaded in like 25 to 30 minutes all day long. It doesn't take nothing. I load the first one on, throw my straps, put the second one on, throw my straps, tighten both those down, raise it up. Load the next four, throw all the straps, tighten them all down, raise it up, throw my bottom three, throw my straps, lower everything down, and I'm telling you, almost every single load is at the exact same pinpoints. So now at this point, I can walk around, throw all my pins, and then lower everything down, grab my height stick, I put it right straight to 13.6, go over the top of everything. It doesn't touch any roofs. I'm good. I'm on the road, and I know I'm going to be safe. And I'm telling you, 25 to 35 minutes if my cars are sitting next to my trailers, all it takes to load one of these quick loaders. So the fastest I could have gotten down in a high rail is probably 35 to 50 minutes tops if my cars were pulled. Just more decks to pin. So I wouldn't worry all that much about it. So Kelvin, lots of guys who have sleepers still sleeping in hotels. Yeah, I don't know United Roads rules on the sleepers and sleeping in hotels. I know when we got hired, they said if you got a sleeper, it was not mandatory for you to sleep in a hotel. They said the sleeper was there if you wanted to use it. That was when I got hired again 2.5 years ago. Things have changed. But they said if you get a sleeper truck, the sleeper's there as an option, not as a mandatory. So that's up to the terminal. I guess they probably have a much bigger say on that than anything else, but that was what we were told when we got hired. I'm going to go through the last couple of questions, guys, then I'm going to be signing off for the night. Tom, yeah, you saw that Connor answered you. If you want to be an owner-operator on GM Dedicated, talk to A&S. All their guys are at least ops, and they run that account. Okay, that'll work. Explain on Insta why I asked in a private message. The rest of your message is not there, so I don't know what it is, but yeah, you can write me on Instagram. I'll try to answer that for you. Where I am, the GM rate and FSC is not very good. Would do better by the hour than by the unit. Tom, whereabouts are you? Where are you running? Day cab to day cab, yeah, so that's easy. 18 wheels. 18 wheels applied for Swift today and received complimentary Bluetooth headset, white tank top, and a pair of flip-flops. You're a real trucker then, man. Make sure you have those real tall socks on when you put those flip-flops on, and make sure you walk through the parking lot after it rains so you get that piss all up the back of your leg. I can't get behind that. And I wear sandals all the time when I'm at home. But not in the truck. There's too many guys that pee in that parking lot, and I see drivers just walking through those puddles in flip-flops, and I'm going, golly, that is not me. Aaron, hey buddy. I have a sleeper with a mid-rail, and I'm home on weekends. I don't have a house, so when I'm home, I'm technically on my 34, so I'm allotted only 2 nights at a hotel plus 1 during the week if needed. Just got my AC fixed in Marysville Terminal. They were able to get the part I needed and install within 24 hours. That is awesome. Signing out. Stay safe, drivers. Keep the greasy side down. Absolutely, guys. I'm gonna do the same thing, guys. I appreciate you all watching. Hit that like button if you haven't already. I think this is probably my record amount of people watching at one time. So guys, I greatly appreciate it. I appreciate all the comments you guys do. As always, guys, I love you. I will catch you on the next one, and down in the links below, use any of them that are needed. I will drop all my information down there, and we are going to I'll catch you guys on the next one. I'm gonna sign off here and do a video next week. So thank you guys. Have a good one.